Good morning, students. Today, I'll be discussing about integrated capacitors and resistors. So, as all of you know that for a capacitor, you need two conducting plates, and in between you need to have one insulator. So, there are multiple ways of making a capacitor in integrated circuit form. So, in this first method, we are making use of a transistor like structure to be used as a capacitor. You have here P, N, P layer, and there are junctions between P and N layer and N and P layer, as you see here. And you have one terminal connected to this N structure and another terminal connected to P structure. So what is that we are doing here is we are trying to make use of two layers, PN layers, and if we reverse bias these, what happens is a junction is formed which is going to give you capacitance. So when a reverse bias junction is made use, the capacitance depends on the reverse bias voltage what we apply across the P and N layer. In this case, what we are seeing here is we have multiple layers. Of course, this is P substrate and N material grown, making use of diffusion, and you have SiO2 layer which is got with the help of oxidation layer, but then you have metal layer which is covered on the surface. So here what we uh, observe is in between they are not present. So the metal layer is used as a capacitor. Why? Because this acts like one electrode and this acts like one electrode separated by SiO2 layer. So you can get integrated capacitor operation with the help of this metal electrode separated by SiO2 layer. In this case, what we see here is we have a comb-like structure of polysilicon and they are separated, the finger-like structures are separated by insulator. So polysilicon, insulator polysilicon can work like a capacitor. So here the two plates are formed by polysilicon and the insulator is either silicon nitride or SiO2 layer. So we can get high value of capacitance using this type of polysilicon insulator, polysilicon capacitor. So we may also construct in the similar way metal oxide metal integrated capacitor. So in the this type, what we see here is a MOSFET being used as a capacitor. So here we have source, drain, gate structure, and SiO2 is there between gate and the substrate region here. So whenever a MOSFET is connected by applying voltage to gate terminal and positive potential to drain terminal, we observe a capacitance between gate and drain. We also observe capacitance between gate and channel. So here, so this capacitance can be used. The capacitance that is appearing between these two terminals can be used as a capacitor. Coming to resistor, how we can build resistor. Here also there are multiple ways. So in this figure we are seeing is This is a common substrate over which you have grown N and P layer by making use of diffusion or implantation methods. And the P structure, which is a diffuse structure, is now used as a resistor. So one terminal is connected here and other terminal is connected here. Between these two terminals you can find the resistance. Why? Because the semiconductor layer offers resistance in, and this resistance will have some kind of capacitance associated with that at high frequencies, so which can result in leakage in the diffuse structures. So this type of method is not preferred under high frequency applications, but you can see you can get a range of 20 kilo ohms to 30 kilo ohms values if you make use of resistors of this type. And in this case, we can build resistor of thin type by growing a thin film of resistor on a substrate, by which we can even get a resistance of few 100 kilo ohms. That's about growing or fabricating passive components. And that's for now. Thank you.